Hello and welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about the Service Console in Salesforce. So, what is the Service Console? Well, the Service Console is just a more user-friendly interface for fast-paced work environments. It allows users to manage multiple records on a single screen, and it reduces the time spent clicking and scrolling to find, update, or create new records. Essentially, it just makes the real estate on the screen better suited for someone who has to manage multiple records at the same time. So let's head into Salesforce and let's walk through it. So here we are in Salesforce and we're just in the standard sales app. If we go to the app launcher here and we're just going to type in console, you'll see that we've got the service console. And then if we open that up, the first thing you're going to notice is that the top has completely changed. So from the top here, there's no navigation bar. We just have a list of objects or records that we can work with here. So that's the first difference I want to point out to you. Is you don't get a navigation bar, you just get a drop down here. So what does that navigation bar turn into? Well, if we open up a case here, you can see it actually opens up in the navigation bar. So we can work with this case if we wanted to, or say we get a phone call and we need to find another case, we could just click on that from the list view, we'll be able to open that up. Or again, we could just search this list. So if I just put in 1024, and type that in, you'll see we get that case 1024 and I can open that up. And as you can see, this means that we can actually work with multiple cases at the same time. So it provides a really quick and easy way for your users and for your service team to be able to stay on top of all the records and just deal with a really fast-paced environment. As always, you get the utility items down here. So these tend to be used quite often when an organization has, say, omnichannel in there or CTI, so a telephone integration, then they'll be sat down here to allow users just to quickly access them as well. Now, one thing I did want to point out to you as well is that this sidebar can be hidden or it can be exposed. So that just gives you more control over really how your users are going to use it. And again, this is done by the users themselves. So they can just log into their Salesforce. If they don't want the split view, they can just move it away. Now, the split view only works for the split view. If you move it to table, it's going to then just turn it to a table view. And again, if you was to move it to Kanban, so if I just go over here and change it to Kanban, you'll see it's going to move it to a Kanban as well. And I'll just change this so you can actually see what's going on here. So you can see we've then got the Kanban view. So this is just going to give you a bit more of an idea as to what a service console actually is and how it works. And like I say, this is really useful for fast-paced environments where people need to be able to work with multiple cases or even multiple accounts. So again, if we go into accounts here, and what we'll do is we're just going to go to all accounts and we're going to try and find one which has an issue. So we know United Oil and Gas Corp has one. So we could either click on that, which will open up the account underneath there. Again, if we click there, that's going to open up the account as a separate tab. So you can see we've now got that as a separate tab. And then the beauty behind this is, say we wanted to have a look through all the cases for that account, we can click them. And as you can see, they're now going to open up underneath that heading. So again, we can go back, we can open up the next one, we could go back, we could open up the next one and the next one. And what we can do now is actually work through them. So, we can just have a look at each individual one just by clicking between them. Now, if you remember, on an actual service setup, so on the service application itself, we couldn't do that because if we'll just go to the account and we'll go to United Oil and Gas Corp. If we click to open up a case, that takes over our screen. So we can only look at one case at one time. Whereas by having the actual service console itself, we actually have that functionality to be able to navigate our way through, multiple cases for an account. And as you can see, it does remember the tabs that you've got. So that's an overview of the service console. It's the main point of this is just to understand when you would use a service console, the advantages of using it, the disadvantages of it, and just to get more of an idea really as to what you work with it. So let's just head back to our presentation and let's just do a quick summary. So the service console summary, we know that you have a split view, which means you can have a list on the left-hand side, and then you can have your records you work for on the right-hand side. We know that you can manage more than one case at a time. And as you've already seen, it does allow users to work more efficiently and more effectively. You can add utility items such as omnichannel, CTI, a macro. So again, that's going to further improve their efficiency and their effectiveness. So that's Service Console covered.